has been started almost 2 years after July 15 fake theater coup. Turkish government committed genocide against innocent people. Today I want to talk about Turkish Foreign Ministry spied on Swedish organization, Stockholm Human Rights Center, which profile exiled Turkish journalists and requested from the Swedish government, and using Interpol. They call them terrorists. Journalists cannot be terrorists. Journalists are journalists who are talking against corruption, Al-Qaeda network, affiliation, Erdoğan and MIT regime, which is unacceptable as a Turkish government using terror as a political weapon against many people. So this is a big political mess I want to talk about. Turkish Foreign Ministry became a mafia ministry, and also Turkish Justice Ministry, another mafia ministry. They requested Turkish professor Şerif Ali Tekalan from United States, and it's a politically motivated extradition requested by Turkish government using Interpol and international courts and domestic courts, which are obviously the genocide mafia regime producing fake documents and fake claims against the innocent. And recently Turkish Minister of Justice will present a judicial reform strategy in Washington DC. The organizers, the Turkish embassy, will pay the audience participant $350 because no one wants to listen to them. Their bullshit, which is paid off by the Erdoğan, and paying $350 in US dollars to participants, name it as bribe, which is obviously not acceptable for Western listeners. It is a conflict of interest and haram, which is they are using government money and pays off people who wants to listen to them. Of course, it's a conflict of interest. It is against the Western countries' law, and it should be investigated. And obviously, this genocide mafia regime should be brought to justice, international United Nations International Court and La Haye Justice Court. European Union and is aware of that, and which is a big mess going on in Turkey, and thieves and thugs, haramis, wanna run away from the justice, and they are making excuse and lame excuse, providing a fake government document. They try to convince Western countries, make them stupid, and you guys, you are stupid, we know everything and you don't know. So it is not true. Erdoğan's Al-Qaeda affiliations are well known, and his Turkish intelligence MIT kingdom, Erdoğan terror organization, and Perincek's group Holocaust in Turkey and regions are well known by the Western intelligence services and states and media, and have been reported many news coverage last 8 years. Turkish mafia state is using Interpol to request journalists, academics, and cover up their crimes against humanity. It happened to me 1 year ago. It's June 23rd, one day before the election in Turkey. Turkish government, Minister of Justice and Foreign Ministry sent an interior ministry, 3 different ministries, sent a big file against me. I have been living in Canada for 19 years. I'm a Canadian citizen. So I came to Canada before AK Party was constructed. So there was no reason to recast me from the Canadian government, which is a kind of fake documents, and they sent a file to recast me through Interpol and using every single opportunities, and they want me because they wanna torture me and kill me in the jail. So it happens to many people in Turkey, and Turkish intelligence kidnapped over 100 people from 80 different countries last 3 years. So I explained to Canadian police who came to my home. 2 officers came, and I was sick and I had a surgery, gallbladder surgery, and I was resting in my home. So I invited them to my home rather than going to police station. So they came, and with very thick files, so that thick, and they were smiling. And I asked them, did you come to kidnap me? So they started laughing, and no, we don't. We are a serious country, but Turkey is not serious country. It's lacking. So just we came to inform you. They wanna kidnap you. They wanna kill you. They wanna torture you. So they are trying to use us. So of course, Canada is not giving you to Turkey, and I want to see what is going on, and in the files they didn't want to show me, so don't mind, those are bullshit, and we don't want to even show you what the claims are, and you just say I am not going to make any comment and sign it, and sorry for interrupting you and coming to your home. But I prepare some presentation for you, so about Erdoğan's corruptions and Al-Qaeda affiliations with intelligence services work in Canada, who are interrupting happy life and peaceful life in Canada. They are interrupting many things, so I wanted to provide their names, and they don't want to take it, and they don't want to listen in presentation. We know everything. We know you are the innocent, and your people are innocent. They are the crime makers and troublemakers, not only in Turkey, also domestically, also globally. They are terrorists, and sadly they are running the government. So we have to reply and respond to their requests, and that's it. So it is a kind of shame I felt. Turkish government run by the mafia group leadership is a worse terrorist, Erdoğan, name it Erdoğan, and the Turkish intelligence and Turkish even army involved, and head of the Karargah, Genelkurmay involved this mess, and the opposition party is involved, and many people are bribing, and Erdoğan using money, government money, buying out people, and using the justice system, put people in jail for nothing, and just who are against their crimes. Is a visible crimes, not only simple crimes. So millions of people are in trouble, and about the failed Turkish state. Of course, they are failed to kidnap me from Canada. Canada is a democratic country. So even police officer told me, if you wanna say dictator to Justin Trudeau, You can say it. I say it. I don't like Trudeau. He was a government servant, police officer, who's against the Trudeau. It is pretty normal in Canada, you know. So, what is the claim? They say, okay, you said dictator to Erdoğan on Twitter's social media account. Did you do that? Of course I did. I did 300,000 times and repeatedly. So I did write many books and articles and speeches. I am saying openly, he's a dictator, he's a thief, he's a terrorist leader in Turkey. I'm a social worker, I'm a journalist and academic. Oh, they laughed a lot and we drink tea and together, which is my son and my daughter came and they did talk to police officers more openly than me, and police officers were sorry about this mess, you know, behalf of Turkey, because they have no shame, they have no justice, they have no rules in Turkey, no constitutions. So which is kind of country looks like the North Korea, just one man show. They don't wanna leave alone victims even they run away from Turkey. So people run away from Turkey and crossing Evros river and seas. Many people are drowned last couple of years. They don't want to live in Turkey, which is they targeted. They listed by Turkish intelligence long time ago, almost 20 years. So it's kind of exclusion in guillotine. You know, they are killing people in public and using nefret speeches by Erdoğan last 8 years or so. Targeting certain population because of their beliefs, the ethnicity, religion, culture, creed, and every day Erdoğan is lying number of times and targeting and using hatred speeches. His hatred speeches are well known. His lies is over millions and people don't believe him. And they don't want vote him in the elections anymore. And he has been making a fake election since November 1st, 2015. So he's still the Istanbul elections, March 31st, which is new elections are coming again, June 23rd, and there is no law and regulations, and he's ordering what's supposed to be. So, to begin with, growing body of pieces appear in the international media and reports by respected and human rights organizations, and who are cooperating and release many reports. Even the Amnesty International reports, journalist reports, many associations report, European reports, US reports, Canadian reports. They don't care about those reports. They say outsider and they are enemies. So enemies are defending victims, and they don't want to listen to them, but they are going them to introduce their reform. There is no reform. So they are trying to trick them and make them stupid, which is a shared convictions about the nature of the post-trials. They are not fair. So they are driving by political motivations of government and lack of basic parameters of due process. So this is not court or game. It's a kind of political game going on. The post-coup trials are political motivated in nature, and there is no judicial independence in Turkey. Erdoğan appointed all the judges, and he put 5,000 judges and prosecutors in jails, and over 170 journalists in jail, and 160 of them sentences, and they wanted more 180 journalists. I am one of them since 2016. So who's talking against them? They request and using Interpol and sending a file, which is a kind of mess. Turkish government not respecting United Nations rules, European Union rules, United Nations human rights rules, courts, and they arrested over 700 lawyers, which is mass persecutions about lawyers. So the victims cannot defend themselves, and they are buying out lawyers associations, Metin Feyzoğlu in Istanbul, which is taking bribe from the victims' families and kind of thief, and making negotiation. If you are released from the jail, it is not by the court, it is by the Erdoğan and Metin Feyzoğlu agreement, and how much money you are willing to pay. If you are poor and you don't have money, you will stay in the jail. And the jail's conditions are very, very bad, and they are not given food, they are not given free time, and torturing people in the single room over 5-6 years, torture to kill. Every kind of tortures happening since then, and many people killed in the jails, and kind of the pregnant woman in jails, over 70,000 women in jail, and 743 babies. It is a kind of mass, over 500,000 people jailed and tortured, kind of abuse the system. Turkey abuse of Interpol system. Even British court rejects Ankara extradition requests from London, UK. Akın İpek, Mustafa Yeşil, and a couple of his friends who ran away from Istanbul and Ankara to refuge in UK. So they took over their properties, monies. So over $70 billion money were stolen by Erdoğan regime from those innocent people. So the court in UK and rejected Ankara government request, and which is politically motivated and organized, we call self-group, organized by Erdoğan and his group, Holocaust genocide group. So there is no rule and regulations and fair trial in Turkey. People are in jail like a imprisons, rights activists, human rights activists, journalists, politicians, all type of people, doctors, nurses, and people are listening to us and outside who are exiled from Turkey. I am not exiled journalist. I live in Canada freely since 2000, so I didn't run away from Turkey after 2016. So even though they targeted me because I was a former reporter journalist in Zaman newspaper and Cihan News Agency, which are closed down by the Erdoğan regime, so they did target me because I have a personal blog, web blog, writing and explaining what's going on. So I did publish local domestic newspaper in Canada in 14-15 years, Canada Turk, which is Sunrise. So I'm still journalist as a hobby, my hobby activity. They requested me from Canadian government, which is using and abusing Interpol system. So Interpol rejected their request because they provided lists of people who are innocent, they don't have any criminal record, in the past, and which is they put fake document, and those people are organized group against us, which is are not true. They organize themselves. Erdoğan terror organization, Karargah terror organization, Pelikan terror organization, Perincek terror organization, and Erdoğan's many terror organizations organize together, and with Russian Putin help, and some Pentagon group, which is Strafor, George Friedman group, Daniel Roderick, and many different US people are involved in this mess. So Robert Amsterdam, the law associations bribed by the Erdoğan government $65 million. There are many players in this game, and which is, we are not the ship. We are targeted as a scapegoat, and scapegoating psychology. I'm a psychotherapist as well, so I know what they are doing. We are not the goat, we are not the ship. So they cannot kill us, and they cannot wipe us out from this world like this. Turkish domestic crackdown and opponent of all political affiliations and social convictions took global dimensions. Ankara's request for Interpol red notice arrive many Western countries through international police bodies. Turkey's unrelenting demands, along with Venezuela, China, Iran, and other authoritarian countries, began to overwhelm Interpol. As a result, Lyon, the France-based Interpol, struggles to cope with this. This is a faking request, which is using Interpol not acceptable. It looks like the Hitler regime, Stalin and SS, Gestapo requested people who ran away from Germany in Hitler Germany. Looks like they are using Hitler type dictatorship, and targeted victims, oppositions who are doing opposition against this mass demanded by Interpol. This Turkey's unceasing demands have created pitfalls and challenges for the international police body, as what occurred to Interpol reportedly refused Ankara's pursuit of red notice 2 years ago. So, but they repeatedly sending same red notice to Western countries. The last incident happened in Sweden. They requested two well-known Today Zaman journalists. One of them is Abdullah Bozkurt, who's running a Nordic report, Nordic Monitor, writing in English. So, who did work Zaman and Cihan news agency in Washington D.C. before, in Ankara. So his writing is very strong and documented. So they are scared from him, and he revealed all the Al-Qaeda affiliations, Erdoğan and mid-intelligence services, which is put them in the position which is they should be judged by the international court. Abdullah Bozkurt and Levent Kenes. Levent Kenes was editor-in-chief and last position in Turkey before they closed down his media. I believe Meydan newspaper. He was in Zaman Group before, and so they targeted good journalists. They requested probably Tarık Toros and Turan in UK and Fatih Akalan from Germany. So they requested many other journalists who lives in Canada now. So there are many journalists run away from Turkey, now they live in Canada. they did choose secure and safe country, Canada. So their refugee requests, accepted, and they are under the protection of United Nations, and they are applied to PR, Canadian citizenship process, and they are mostly now green card, PR card. So they are living in Canada legally. So which is they are doing journalism, some of them. So some of them, families is now divided. They don't want to talk because their family members at Erdoğan's hands, which is Erdoğan is a mafia leader, took them in jail, and or people are stay their home, they cannot get out because using a hatred speech, FETÖ, they call FETÖ. I don't know what does it mean. Kind of Jewish, bag in Hitler used during the Holocaust. Hitler killed 6 million people in concentration camps. So Erdoğan tried to use maybe 6 million people in Turkey. So it seems they targeted over 6 million people, and over 10 million people listed as an enemy. Erdoğan has a potential to kill 10 million people in Turkey. So the Western world and unaware of that kind of mess. Now today I want to talk English. Turkish I will be talking next after this periscope. So wait if you want to listen to Turkish. According to reports appeared on the Hürriyet Daily News in July 2017, Ankara tried to upload the names of 60,000 people, most of whom were perceived affiliated with Gulen movement abroad, to Interpol system. So 60,000 people names provided to Interpol system as a terrorist criminal, which is a big mess. The Turkish media reported that Interpol removed Turkey requests from the database after Ankara uploaded those 60,000 names. No kidding, 60,000 names, which are the innocent and well-educated people. So the media reports subsequently elicited denial from the Interpol last years. Interpol supports each and every one of its 119 members of country, part of the security cooperation benefits. So no access block has been implemented in Interpol's databases. So including for those who have international warrant in Turkey, the statement issued by Interpol and quoted by Hürriyet Daily in English. So it is accessible. In the end, and Interpol only blocked 60,000 entries from Turkey, but did not shut down Ankara's full-scale access to system. So yet, Interpol, understandable attempts to soothe and the nerves of Turkey did not clear the fog of controversy over the major conflict lasted almost 3 years. So the claim of over the abuse of the Interpol system, it is obvious. The database works as international criminal alert, notifying red notice all 192 countries in the database that a person is wanted by police. They don't know why, and so they want to harm those 60,000 people. Basically, even they cannot get those people from those countries, they want to harm them. They want to scare them. They want to destroy their life. If they have succeed to receiving through Interpol, it is a kind of big shame for the Interpol. 60,000 people in the database, erase it many times. They repeatedly putting those names in the system. So, which is kind of pushing Interpol to point of breakdown by demanding so many notice. Ankara's opaque and kind of robotic and zombie claims are kind of threat for global security and credibility and accountability. Journalists are not criminals. There is no crime for doing journalism, and for writers, there is no crime for writing anything, novels, news, whatever. Evet, yes, Ankara alleged abuse of Interpol last 2 years ago, 2017 summer. So, which is a German-Turkish writer, Turkish-born author Doğan Akanlı was briefly detained in Madrid in Turkey on Turkey's warrant. So his detention sparked a diplomat spot between Germany and Turkey, while Spain was caught in the midst of the diplomatic war and over the Ankara use of Interpol system. Learn English. The only reason Akanlı wound up in a Spanish jail, many observers asserted, was his criticism of the Turkish government and his critical stance over sensitive historical matters, such as the Armenian genocide in 1915. After Germany's intervention, the Spanish authorities released him, but did not allow him to leave Madrid until through a review of Turkish extradition request, which is a big harm. Innocent people stay in the jail until everything is cleared out. Detention of Akanlı, however, it might be arose with widespread criticism and rekindle the debate over Ankara's arbitrary use of Interpol's red notice system. So European Union Council's and recent report also show that Turkish system is completely gone, and there is no state, there is no country left. Even the Constitution Court, in the garbage. So Turkish Constitution Court not, responding victim requests on time and rejecting them, and they are not obeying Turkish current constitution. So after 3 years waiting period, they are rejecting innocent people claims to. So European Union report indicated Turkey is completely a mafia raw state which is run by the criminals, and there is no credible, accountable politicians, judges, policies exist in Turkey. Regarding the Angela Merkel's remarks and the global posts and global mails in Canada media notice, this is an emerging consensus and awareness over Turkey's intention in its use of Interpol notice system. Canada rejected them completely. So Germany rejected them completely. So which is Western countries rejected Turkey completely. So they even requested Enes Kanter, NBA player from United States, with red notice. Interpol was kind of in the middle. It is a kind of big mess. Enes Kanter is a well-known NBA player who belongs to Fethullah Gülen movement. So they tried to kidnap him from Romania before, and he didn't go to UK, and he doesn't want to come to Canada for a Raptors playoff. So even US senators sent a letter to Trudeau, please allow him to use VIP and put extra security, so prevent kidnapping him. Turkish government tried to kidnap him from its transition zone between US and Canada. Between US and Canada in airport, they kidnap people in transition zone in the international airports in Bangkok, Dubai, Malaysia. It happened before. So those criminals paid by the Turkish government, Erdoğan regime, and traveling all over the world and kidnapping people like Enes Kanter, try to kidnap. So producing fear, so those against those innocent people, and try to prevent information could be revealed to international global arena. So I revealed those secrets 2015 by 2 books, writing 2 books and academic article. I did speech on academic conference in Alberta University in 2015. So Erdoğan and his regime should be judged last 4 years in international court system, because their Al-Qaeda affiliations with many terror organizations. He's paying terrorists monthly wages, salaries, and he has over 400,000 secret army of terrorists inside and out. So he has potential like a Hitler army, so he can kill many people as a potential. My wife is coming up from there, and she's smiling. Weather is nice. I organize outside and talk here English today. I'm talking English. My wife smiled, and she knows I am talking every day. So Interpol took some important steps to fight against abuse attempts countries. So this kind of mess should be stopped, and periodically Ankara releases terrorist wanted lists and pledges bounties to have those who have the Turkish authorities to spot and locate the wanted suspects living in Europe, US and Canada and elsewhere, which is kind of a new strategy, pits Turkey against the European countries, which drag their feet in investigation and pursuing people, mostly dissident people demanded by Ankara. Those dissident people and requested by Ankara, and they want them in jail and torture and kill them. Then given sentences, and there is no joke, there is no kidding. They are doing this, which is kind of mess. Turkey also manipulates Interpol to snatch opponents from some countries which are more congenial to Ankara's term and Interpol's communication system that allows members countries to contact with each other directly through the police bodies network was abused by the Turkish authorities, and they are bribing some policies internationally and to kidnap people from Pakistan, Malaysia and Gabon in Africa and Kosovo. So today is Kosovo's president and ministers visited Germany, and Merkel told them, don't do this again. So people kidnapped from your country, teachers, by the Turkish intelligence. So if you are doing again, you're gonna kick out from European Union. We have a criteria, human rights criteria. So they understood in Kosovo. Kosovo is a new country, almost less than 10 years. So after the struggle of Yugoslavia, so they have to obey regulations, European Union criteria, not Ankara's criteria. There is no reform in Ankara. They are faking it. So this mess should be stopped, and Turkey should be bring to justice and those criminals. International criticism rising every day, and this system, which is abused by the Turkish government, which is 192 members, should obey same rules, not using by Turkish criminals, Erdoğan's criminals. So Erdoğan is targeting critical journalists and academics who live in exile in different countries, including Sweden. Canada, and different European countries, even in United States. They are hunting down those well-reputed journalists and academics who's writing and talking every day, almost. Not every day, I'm talking every day. And they are doing their journalism and some academic work. So through that, those are criminals, and which is Turkish Foreign Ministry sent a letter to Sweden. So they call Araştırma ve Güvenlik İşleri Genel Müdürlüğü gizli, secret Foreign Ministry. But journalist friends received a secret Turkish government bad intention. Konu FETÖ, İsveç, Sweden. So sayı number. Who signed this? Bakan adına Muhteber Kılıç, daire başkanı. So somebody signed behalf of the ministry. Who's Muhteber Kılıç? Who's this guy? Belong to Erdoğan terror organization or Perincek terror organization? So who's Turkish Foreign Minister? Still we don't know. Mevlüt Çavuşoğlu, Ömer Çelik, Doğu Perincek. Who is responsible? Who's in charge? Muhteber Kılıç. Who's this lady? So they are using terrorists like this, belongs to Perincek Erdoğan group. So sending a letters, using a foreign ministry letters, official letters, requesting today's zaman the former Ankara representative and Stockholm Center for Freedom workers and funders, Abdullah Bozkurt. So also the Nordic Research and Monitoring Network, Nordic Monitor News, which is very powerful since January 2019. So as a director, also they requested Levent Kenes, and who was the vice president of the this NGO, Nordic Monitor, and they reached the addresses, the site who we are. They selected information from the website. So you put your name, we created this organization, they selected people's name and sent a letter. How's that? So you cannot open website even. So if you open it, they targeted you. So they said we diagnose they are the terrorists. So from the website, who are producing news and documented information, which is in English, targeted to English speakers audience. They don't like this. So they wanna trick you, they lie to you and send people from Ankara. So we are good people, we are not terrorists, we are solving our inside problem. So don't mind. We're gonna kill those people, and like Hitler, it could be 6 million, 10 million. Don't mind, we can kill. So, which is they are basically saying that we don't obey any United Nations, European Union, any rules. We don't want to obey. So, like North Korea. So they are also requested name Metin Çetiner and listed names, which is work in the Agit as an expert, and they are bad people. They are revealing information about our mass in Turkey, and we are terrorists. What they are saying, affiliated Al-Qaeda network and doing terrorism all over the world, and they are revealing information about us, which is bad for us. So this is oppressive regime and dictatorship regime. So they target nordicmonitor.com news website and claiming and requesting Abdullah Bozkurt, a veteran Turkish journalist who was forced to move abroad in 2016 to escape the Erdoğan's government crackdown on freedom of the press in Turkey, where nearly 200 journalists are currently jailed. Levent Kenes, another journalist in exile who used to run the national Meydan daily as editor-in-chief before moving to abroad, and serves as deputy executive director of Nordic Monitor. Murat Çetiner, listed as security specialist for Nordic Monitor, who was a police officer, as I know, profiled by the Foreign Ministry. He had worked for the United Nations and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Wow, as independent expert and various assignment, very well reputed person and well trusted person. So they targeted. He has a master's degree in communication, and he had worked for 18 years with Turkish police in various. 18 years work in the police. Now he's a terrorist. Specifically in counterterrorism expert Çetiner advises Nordic Monitor on security issues. So he is an expert on terrorism and counterterrorism. So he knows Al-Qaeda affiliated terror group in Turkey, Erdoğan's regime, and all the names. They scared from him, of course. So many articles published by Nordic Monitor. You can follow this news website, and Stockholm the Freedom Center. They listed all the victim of the system and journalist names. So very reliable sources. Turkish government corrupted, and many scandals coming up every day. So Foreign Ministry document was signed by Muteber Kılıç, head of the department, and behalf of Foreign Ministry, Mevlüt Çavuşoğlu. So we should know who are responsible and who are in charge, and currently Ambassador Sedat Önal in Sweden. If you can change the ambassador, but the crime is still on, and they change Canadian embassy, for example, Selçuk Ünal. Now they replace with Atan ambassador is from the JHP, which is from opposition party, but they are doing same shit. So it is not much difference. If you are changing the ambassador, Canada won't change their decision. So you cannot kidnap them. You can try. So this is a wishful thinking. You can kidnap me, and you can kill me, or whatever. You can do bullshit. So we will stop you in Canada, obviously. So, by the way, I provided your name to Canadian intelligence and all the names and money you sent, and try to bullshit people and blackmailing, hatred, producing hatred, whatever mess you are doing in Turkey. So you cannot do in Canada. So those names are listed and following by Canadian intelligence and police services. So they will be captured and by their crimes and kicked out from Canada. So your Turkish embassy and consulate could be closed down, what they promised me, if they do those bullshit, and again and repeatedly. You cannot capture them, you cannot close down their embassy, like we did for Iran and Peru and different countries. They did same shit. They are killers. So not only kidnapping people. So you cannot use Interpol either way, and you cannot use mafia, local mafia. So any crimes you commit, we will capture you in Canada. Canadian intelligence and police are aware of that. So those mass is going on, ongoing process since, and Turkey has no judges, no policemen, no media, nothing left in Turkey, controlled by Erdoğan and the genocide regime. So they even requested a Turkish professor in the United States, which is was a president of Fatih University, and doctor, Sheriff Ali Tekalan. So as much as I know, Sheriff Ali Tekalan now American citizen. So not only Turkish citizen, because they canceled the passport, they didn't expand it. So he's an American citizen. So good luck. Yeah. America is United States last 1 year accepting refugee claims from Turkey, who run away from Turkey, genocide regime, and giving a trial in 3 months and giving a green card, who are the victims of the system. So United States listed Turkey one of the 8 worst countries on the global level. So Canada is listed same, worst 8 countries listed. Right now Turkey is number 1. Now second is Yemen, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, North Korea. Yeah, those countries are worst countries, and 2 more. Which is the country is kind of gone, and they don't want to accept the reality, and still they want to target and kill, kidnap innocent people. They keep trying. So criminals are very brave, and they are not. They are using government opportunities and monies and try to kidnap and kill innocent people. So until when? So they wanna be like Germany, Hitler Germany, bombing from sky and destroy the country, and they will understand what's going on. So I think they wanna like this result, and the fascism, racism, and hatred always ending up same result. And very sadly, they don't wanna understand, and acting like a zombies and acting like a SS Hitler type person. So we call persona, character, which is criminals and Holocaust or genocide makers. They never accept their fault until they captured, and they put if you put them in jail and put them in fair trial. So we have to educate them. We have to let them know what they are doing, and until the fair trial time or judgment day, if we cannot get a result in this earth time, so the judgment day, after the judgment day, they will be judged by the God. So we trust God. We going to get a result in this world, hopefully. So those mafia genocide regimes should be removed from Turkey. Turkey is a country, very well beautiful country in the between Asia and Europe. It was a democratic country before, and free elections and true elections going on almost 67 years. Erdoğan and this mafia regime since 2011 completely shut down the country, its democratic elections, and remove all the civil society, and create open jail condition, which is not acceptable, using the election system for his benefits, and still the Istanbul, and because big corruptions going on in Turkey, very big corruptions. I can say near $1 trillion corruptions they wanna give away this Istanbul to opposition party İmamoğlu, which is kind of lame excuse he's making, and he's a lame duck. So in the Western political term, lame duck. Hopefully we can remove this mafia regime from Turkey and bring them to justice in someday, Otherwise, they are using Islamic political language, Islamist language, and Kemalist fascists, and cooperating with them, helping them to create a kind of genocide regime, mafia state. Big corruptions should be judged, and money should be goes back to Turkish treasury, not the people pocket, including the Kemalist fascist ETO and Perincek group, and should be taken away from Erdoğan's haramis and all the people. So those ideologies are dead, and long dead, and they don't want to accept they are dead. And zombies are never accepted, and they are dead already, and this is a kind of political mess. Okay, that's enough, I think. That's the English. I will start talking Turkish. Almost 1 hour, 56 minutes. I'm talking English. So Canadian companies try to do a documentary and filming those crimes, genocide in Turkey. So as you know, Jewish people was innocent people and killed by the Hitler regime, and they started doing a film and documentary after that, and after they landed in a secure, safe country, and they tried to talk and explain what was going on in the Hitler regime time. So nobody was believing them in a long time, and then they started writing stories and narrative and filming. So those art and filming industry in Hollywood provided many movies and documentaries show those genocide, so which is going on in Turkey right now. We will do a same thing, and we will follow the Jewish path, who have been very successful doing this. So explaining what's going on in Turkey. Of course, the criminals never accept their faults. Always they try to blame others, and they try to create fake documents. So Hitler did, Himmler, Ekman, Goebbels, those Gehlen did same shit and bullshit in the Hitler time, and they pay the price, or whole Germany, and pay the price. So I think Turkey is going to same path, and they need lesson, very serious lesson. I hope getting a serious lesson will teach them, don't be a fascist and don't be a racist and discriminatory. Being a human is a good thing. Have a good day.